YouTube's Upside DIY. I got an update on this 20 tall, and it's got green water. I added this branch in. Maybe it was more green before from the plants. I've got to try to deal with it, or I got to try to fix it. I'm not going to do it on camera, but all I'm going to do is just clean it, take out that branch. I'm going to siphon it, take out the branch and things. And fill it up with newer, cleaner water, and hopefully add, do a lot of the stuff I'm planning. I'm just planning this out, but adding a kind of like a sponge filter towards the other side, or an airline type of thing. And this tank should be pretty much clear and things, and I can enjoy looking at a clear water in an aquarium. So that was with that tank. I'm glad this was able to clear itself out with the filter and the polisher I made. It's a really good example of how a filter and substrates and aquascapes and things like that can be successful. So that's pretty successful. I could be almost sure to add 2 or 3 fish in there. Hopefully they'll breed and spawn more fish, and then after I clean this aquarium up and have it in a successful state, I could remove and introduce other fish into my collection. So I've changed things around so that it's pretty much more permanent, whereas aquariums are a lot more permanent than tubs. I need these tubs, but they could be outside just because I need it to store like old water, and basically this is some green water from the 20 tall aquarium. And it's going to be more of this, so I need to plan out if I'm going to reuse it in my yard for watering plants during the summer, which I probably will. It's just it's just another hard task at this place. And speaking of hard tasks, I did all this cleanup. I collected and figured out a lot of this DIY stuff, and I actually have to do other things that are actually going to basically like fixing these TVs and taking apart electronics and recycling some of the components. It's actually gonna be a big advancement. It's going to be a another option that I might that might be more interesting to my career and skills as a freelance self-employed for now. But besides that, this is just basically aquarium things, and this green water. It's not algae or something like work, something more successful than having some dye or some type of weird. It's not weird at all. It's just having a change. Especially when I can't filter it out, or I can try to filter it out, but it's just gonna waste energy at this time. Even having, you know, these other filters on and not really breeding and things like that is really, you know, taking out a lot of the factors that I need to be making. So you guys know what's going on with that green aquarium. All the supplies that I had to look into and fix and glue, and even some of the other planning, like a sump, you know, a DIY sump tank, which can be useful as a very large filter down the line. But with that green water and things, you know, and actually, you know, having some of it already cleaned out, I'm just gonna have to try to clean out the rest of it and add clear water, you know, and basically just have that, you know, accessible and built so that just in case some things change, and then I could get in more into this hobby. But for now, I can't really do much else but just move stuff around, store things, you know, and that's just about all. I really don't. I really, you know, have other things ahead of this at the moment, but we'll see. There's a lot of, you know, much better. There's many other good fish breeders on YouTube, and I actually, you know, it's pretty good, I guess. But how I do my YouTube channel and things, I don't really go out and look for stuff, because that might cost a little bit. If something happens, I just record it, you know, but I'm always thinking about YouTube, and, you know, having more options in this, you know, and for myself first and mainly, but I'm actually, you know, I'll record spiders or something that I find. You know, I would, you know, take apart some electronics. I do have old, like, cell phones and things, but just to point out some of the ideas that I have first, and then I just share it with people. So right now, everything is okay. You know, there's more positives than the negative trade-offs. But I'm in a really big negative just because my, you know, my education and, you know, health and where I'm at, it's just not really stuff that I intended to manage and things like that. I was just kind of, you know, and I don't know what it is really, but to go day to day and try with what I could. It's all been more of a plus than a negative for, you know, finding rocks and getting by with having some hobbies to do. But it's really kind of complex because I'm pretty much older. I'm in my 40s and things like that, and, you know, when you're in your 40s and you're really living in your 40s and having to you know, you know, figure out your issues, it's better I cut a lot of things off, you know, figure out what I'm gonna do when I'm 50 and things like that. So this green water is just, you know, I try to filter it. I could put it inside of an aquarium, maybe clean that out, like I've said, and hook up the filter it out. But it's just gonna be a waste of electricity. If I could just start off with clean water, that's the best option. Just because, just by knowing what this green water is, it's not algae or something mildly green. It's just really messed up water or something that could irritate um that could irritate the problem, and make things worse. So I'm just going to try to contain the problem. Just notice that it's just a trade-off for some of the good stuff, and go from there, man. I really want to congratulate a lot of people that are around and actually making really good strides and things with their with their progress, and I really want to congratulate those moments that they shared with myself personally. So it's not hard to give up on things like that, on good things, just for some bad issues that are directed towards people. But good luck, everybody. Even this airline has some bad issues. There's actually non-kink type of engineering in this, whereas these things won't seal up on an air pump like this. I actually went through connecting it to this air filter, and it's got a sponge stone or stone at the bottom, and it was actually leaking out at the top of the cap and nozzle. So I actually had to figure that out, and noticed that this airline has some type of, they're basically lines, but they're sunk into the plastic or the rubber, sorry, and the rubber won't be really tight at the connection. So it's and even an airline like this, I really wouldn't know what to do with it, except probably try to put a speaker wire on it or through it or something, because it's really not going to work for anything that needs an airline. Or this doesn't, I mean, there's water hoses and things like that. They got it to work because they had a connector. So maybe I need a fitting or something to work with this. But I tried things. I would probably have to use glue and things to try to fix it. So yeah, I gotta basically drain this other aquarium. I'm also thinking about moving the shelf back into that space, because the siphon hose is long enough to actually, I just needed to move that because I had to move the I didn't have to, but I had to clean the glass or something on the aquarium. But we'll just have to see. I might even could put one of these barrels there, if which would be pretty nice. But when I do those barrels, I'm gonna be trying to make the air system a lot better, and maybe having a sump system. But this is my air compressor that I'm gonna need to try to get working. If I am going to do more inside of the fish room and things. But it would be nice to have a nice barrel right here. So maybe I could show you guys some of that, when I do it, which I can. It's just I just have to do a little bit more, you know, soul searching and things like that, and then I'll be okay, I think. So thanks for watching YouTube, and I'll see you guys on the next Upside DIY. Have a good day. Bye.